Folks, welcome to the end of Season 4 for your North American Call of Duty Challengers Elites. My name is Seymour. Alongside me, as always, is the dashing Enigma. Andy, how you doing today?
I'm feeling real good. You got to stop flirting on camera, man. You got to calm it down. I'm very
can't
good.
help it.
It's good to be alongside you, as always, my man, and North America's finest, of course. Don't get too many opportunities to stay into the late hours and cast over these gentlemen. And today, having that chance, as soon as I heard we were on the call, looked forward to it all damn day, man. I mean, what about you? You get to see these guys a little bit more. Are you excited for this as I am?
No, I'm so excited because around the corner we have the season coming to a close. We have after this, Boston, then the LCQs and champs, and things are winding down. And now that we get to see, the end of Season 4, what teams have, going for them leading up to this LAN, it's going to be an interesting one because, there's not a lot of time to make adjustments now for these teams.
No, absolutely not. And the thing is as well, a lot of stock going into new games can always come off the back of a strong end to a season. So a lot of these players might have already had good seasons. A lot of them might not have had good seasons, but there's always going to be that point of, okay, well, can I finish strong and put myself in the conversation for stepping up going into next season? So yeah, I mean, even still, just when it comes to the elite, there's money on the line. There's obviously points on the line. None of these players came this far to just come this far. So they're going to be leaving it all out there, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and let's reel things into what we have today. North American Challengers for your clutch stream. It's going to be 705 versus Toronto Ultra NA. And when you're looking at both of these teams, you can definitely weigh the odds as, 705 fighting upward right now, sitting 4-3 coming out of groups, whereas Toronto Ultra NA tied for first 6-1. It's going to be a tough one for 705 when you're looking at it, especially because both of these teams, they just went toe-to-toe with each other last weekend, and it went the way of Toronto 3-1.
Yeah, it did. And that's also a bit of a repeat story when we talk about their matchup in the elite stage, in the seasons point, in the group stages. That was also a 3-1 in favor of Toronto. Ridiculously close series, actually. The first hard point at 250 to 245 that go in the way of 705. But after that, it's 3 straight maps for your Toronto Ultra side around 11 S&D. A control 3-1 to to Toronto, which I believe you know a little bit more about than I do. And then also another very close hard point. This one going to Tuscan, 250 to 232. So very, very close series. Certainly not by any means a one-way swinger. So I'm expecting that to still be a complete battle here. Some plenty of interesting statistics as well coming out of the matchups that these two teams have had. We've got, that Tuscan hardpoint, for example. That's the only time that 705 have lost a Tuscan hardpoint, and the only time throughout this stage that Toronto NA have won a Tuscan hardpoint. So was that perhaps a little bit of an upset? Well, we're going to find out in this series, Seymour.
Oh, we are, because starting off right off the get-go, it's going to be a Tuscan hardpoint. When we look at the maps and modes for the series, we start off with Tuscan. Map number 2 is going to be a Desert Siege. Map 3, Gavitu Control. Map 4, Gavitu hardpoint. And if this goes all the way to a 5th, a bow cage search and destroy. And that's where things get even more exciting, because you look, a lot of these maps are repeats from this last week matchup and how close it was in that matchup for the elite group stage. You can imagine that both of these teams, they're comfortable with what they have. 705, they felt like maybe it was a fluke. You go the second time around, you get a second chance. Time for revenge against Toronto Ultra NA, and I hope you're ready if you're Toronto, because I can imagine that 705, they got something up their sleeve if they want to go back to a lot of these maps.
Yeah, 100%. I think as well, there's a lot here that leans towards 705. Those hard points in particular. Toronto have really struggled with hard point throughout this stage, sitting at a 5-6 record, so a negative record, which is very rare to see in a top-end team. They've been leaning heavily on the control and S&D. And when we look at the hard points in this series in particular, Tuscan, 705 love it here. Again, the only loss that they had was to Toronto Ultra, and Gav as well. They are sitting at a 4-0 record of 705 on that map throughout this stage. So the hard points looking real good. Then is, can you nick a search and destroy? Can you nick a control away from this Toronto side? And Toronto, though, they do look very good on control. They've been absolutely untouchable there. The only time they've lost a control map throughout this whole stage, they lost the series. So swing map, never been more true for us.
No, and I love that you're talking about the search and destroy, because 705, they haven't been the best and S&Ds, but last week, a lot of emphasis on that matchup, a 6-5 round 11. It's a 50-50 at that point, and if 705 walk away with that search and destroy, who knows what we get out of that series. And we're going to see that Desert Siege once more in this map number 2 for this series. So again, I'm looking at those adjustments from 705, and to talk about them even more, Enigma, who do you need from 705 to maybe pull things around and take down Toronto Ultra NA?
It's a tough one because they lean a lot on Diamond Con. He's got the #1 KD throughout the whole stage. He's rocking a 1.35 in search, which is ridiculous. He's also seeing a positive return on his first bloods. His teammates, however, just aren't contributing enough for me. I mean, you do have, you know, Diamond Con rocking that AR, so you can have that a bit of lenience there around your KD performance, but the rest of the team just aren't chipping in enough. They aren't helping him out, and I want to see them pick it up. A lot of them are getting first bloods, but then also getting blooded. A lot of even returns there in the column. So if they can pick that up and open up rounds well, as we know in search, those first bloods can come in mighty handy, and that's where I'm looking for the rest of those boys to help out your DC.
It is, and folks who are tuning in to watch the 705 versus Toronto Ultra NA matchup, we're just waiting on one more player, then we are going to be walking into that Tuscan hardpoint to start things off. But it's not just Clutch GG that's running the Challengers broadcast as well. You can go over to the main broadcast, catch I Hold Shift and Visions, walking through whatever it takes and destroy the odds as they go head-to-head over on youtube.com/Call of Duty Challengers. Go check that out as well, because there's plenty of action throughout the day. Only one matchup on this stream. You can catch the rest over there as it goes through the rest of this day. But Andy, I mean, I'm just want to narrow in even farther between two of these teams. You know, 705, they have a long way to go against Toronto Ultra NA right now. A whole best of 5 that I'm thinking that if they are going to take them down, it will go all the way. What are you looking at throughout this maps mode combos for 705 to take down Toronto Ultra NA on? What do you want? A hard points, control, search and destroy? What are you thinking?
You have to be taking those hard points. You absolutely must. You've been gifted 2 of your favorite maps. Toronto do tend to struggle at the minute around their hard points. So for me, they've got to make sure they're claiming those away. And we start nice and early on that Tuscan. Was this a fluke last time out? Was this something that perhaps just slipped through the net for 705? It was a very close game, so it certainly could have just been maybe one missed rotation, one missed money hill. And come out and set a marker as well. Toronto will definitely go into this one. The favorites, 705, can upset that rhythm, can come in and immediately say, no, we're here to fight for this series. We're contesting for this series. And, you know, have they made those adjustments? You mentioned that earlier. Well, this could be a very good point to kind of come in, win this map big, and remind Toronto for a second that maybe they hadn't got it all figured out last time out that they played them. Because after that, if you can take those two hard points that you really want, it is just about nicking one of those other modes away, and that's definitely doable for this side.
Oh, for sure. And if you're 705, you feel like going into the rest of the season, I don't expect 705 to qualify for champs, as Toronto Ultra NA right now, they look like best qualified from NA to make it that far. But going through the LCQ, you got something to prove almost, Enigma, if you're 705, that you can take down teams like Toronto Ultra NA. And when you're looking at Toronto's side, I mean, I saw Vickle, I saw Scrappy today posting on Twitter and talking about how they're ready for today. They got the passion for the Elites playoffs right now. They're ready to take another championship home right now in Season 4. And hey, Scrappy would say he's going for the W's today. And starting off with 705, I think this could be an interesting matchup for either end, because to an extent, seeing how close that series was last week, 705, they are not out of it. I mean, they can take down Toronto. They just need to play at their best.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm glad that you're bringing up champs there, because a lot of what goes on right now will factor into, obviously, the champs towards the end of the season. The thing is as well, like, yes, currently standing, as long as there's no dramatic shifts in anything, we are likely to see Toronto Ultra NA not have to play LCQs, whereas 705 will. But this is an opportunity to jostle a little bit and figure things out, you know, the strengths, the weaknesses. 705 are having a strong end to the year. Can they then figure out the remaining gaps that they have, show they have the quality to take it to a side that already qualified for champs, and therefore take that momentum into the LCQ? That would be huge, wouldn't it? And
would be.
Then when you do manage to get to LCQ, you've also got that game up against each other, that bit of chess that you've played mentally against each other already. Have you figured each other out? Can you then take them on at champs and push yourself deeper and further? But I mean, we already have a series to talk about here, and a lot of money online for it. Obviously, you win this, you're guaranteed top 3. And where can you go from there?
Well, long way to go. Right now, we got a Tuscan hardpoint loading on in 705 Esports Ultra Academy NA. On the opposite end, you got Destroy the Odds versus whatever it takes. 4 teams left in the Elite Season 4. Only one team can take the championship here to move on throughout the series on a very high note. It all starts here. Tuscan hardpoint. And both these teams, I mean, you already talked about it, Enigma. 705, you know, sometimes looking like they can do no wrong in this map. Last week they lost the first time to Toronto, and it looks like it's not done yet. I mean, we have to go back, obviously. Team kills isn't what we're going to be looking for to start things off, so we'll bring it back to us for a moment, but it's going to be a hard one no matter what for 705 going up against Ultra NA and vice versa, folks. We're going to throw it to a break while we get these players lobbied up once more. When we come back, we should be right into that hard point. Welcome back, everybody. We're in with the Tuscan Hardpoint to start things off for our last day of the regular or of playoffs here for North American Challenger Elite before Grand Finals tomorrow. We got Ultra NA versus 705, and last time these two teams saw each other play on this exact map, it was Toronto taking it 250 to 232. So nothing but close games here for hardpoints between these two teams, Enigma.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting start, actually, straight off the rip. Ultra managed to get all four down. And then, as far as I can tell, there was a flip spawn. And then you've got 705 actually on the preferred side all of a sudden. Ultra kind of caught a little bit unawares, maybe pushed a little bit too far there, caused the Vanguard spawn system to freak out for a second. And we have Ultra taking all the points on P1, looking to start that P2 rotation. Scrap and Vickle already on the hunt.
What is Scrap going to be big here for the rotation? Can he find Classic here? Classic's good for one. Won't be able to read Scrap here, so a chance to really disrupt if you are Scrap in this position, but he does get sniffed out by Pristini. That is going to take him out, but the spawn's already flipped. You're looking at Royalty now to shake things up, and he will find two. Although it is a 2-on-2 on point, so 705 still on the chance for getting broken. Diamond Con's going to find one. Classic's here to the rescue. Takes down Mohawk in the back. Looks to sniff out Vickle, but on a whim, it's 3 down for 705, and Ultra break back in.
Vickle goes absolutely huge there. Could have fallen. That would have been a complete then collapse out of Ultra, and 705 would have had an opportunity to set up perfectly. Those two kills absolutely massive. They buy time. 705 shifted away from the point. Unfortunately, Vickle's teammates cannot then get in through the front, and it's all bounced away. And if you are Ultra, you've got to start considering rotations then over to Fountain. It's a big money hill on this one, and we spoke about it coming into the start of this. The last time these two teams met, it was a fraction of a difference in the scoreline. Money hills are going to be key to this one.
We just see how fast-paced these two teams are. Although Ultra NA finds 3 down, there's still 705 with the better spawns. Hold on for almost an answer back from Hill 1 to Hill 2. Now on the rotation here, you do see Ultra Academy pleasantly set up, sound as could be over into the Fountain Hill, still locking things down on all angles. It's a full 4 down to open for Ultra. Pristini there to spoil the fun, but as he falls, it is going to be another disrupted attack here from 705 to find their way in. Hixie still causing problems up top on 4 in a row for a streak. Can he elongate it to potentially pick things up? He won't. Royalty's going to take him down up top. Vickle laying prone in the hill is going to find one, still locking things down for Ultra NA as his teammates fall around. He's just being such a nuisance on the inside. Finally a break for 705, but 21 seconds to pick up now.
Spoke about him coming into this map. Diamond Con has been huge for this side, a massive presence, and he gets some huge kills there, unlocks the Godheady, unlocks some AR presence, and bullies Ultra out of the money hill. It will be essentially an even game coming out of this one, so it's not a loss for either team, but 705 certainly minimized the amount of damage off the back of that one. We head over to the church, and there's a big hit for the spawns if you're 705.
Oh, this is going to be important too, because we also talked about a little bit of a style clash in the way that these two teams play between 705 and Ultra Academy, and the SMGs are going to be so big, already have been pivotal throughout this hard point. And look at it do it again here. Royalty on screen, find 60 on the inside, nobody collecting time. Ultra Academy, they disengage for now, seem to lock down the lanes, but kill is going the way of 705. It's 2 down. Hixie fights back On the hill right now, 705 collecting time, but how long can they hold on when they're being surrounded by Ultra players? Classic's gonna find one. Things explode, and it's Ultra to answer back with 3 in a row.
Lovely stuff from Ultra. Surround the hill, get themselves in and around all the different doorways and entrances that Church possess, and then swarm, suffocate the life out of 705, and send them packing for the contested P5 that will come for sure. Scrap, though, gets cut down on the flank. It's a huge win again out of DiamondCon, and Hixie on his own at the new point. Ultra have got themselves over 100, but 705 are set up for the final hill of this rotation.
It really has been blow for blow, really, from each hard point between both teams, Andy. And you think that 705, they need this right now if they're going to tie things up once more going into the second set. But Ultra break with the nade spam through the front. In for the hill right now is nobody. Tension between both teams. Hixie's still tearing things up. He's got the dynamic duo. Look at player number 5. Looking to work through the middle of the map. Gets caught by Royalty and Classic. A God nade to bring 705 back in. Okay.
Yeah, a couple of Ultra players there. Not happy, I'm for sure, about the GA to the trophy system. Wish that they had one for that grenade that comes through and cleans out all 3 of them. Ultra Academy were looking good there for a moment to steal away the last of that and perhaps pick themselves up some big kills. But instead, they're going to fight over the last little bit of scrap time. There's rotations in, however, from Scrap and Vickle. They're going to set themselves up. Now, P1 on the second set of rotations for Tuscan can be a bit of a money hill, but this Pristini going to answer it.
Finds one. The second one's going to drop as well. Pristini goes big on the rotation. That's going to force Ultra Academy to really pull their attention to take him down. Royalty breaks in the front of the hill. The full setup from 7 to 5, from hill to hill, from 5 to 1. It's going to be fantastic. Now a chance to push their lead. The score flips. 705, 115. Ultra's 114. DiamondCon still lining them up. Drops 11 and 15. Not the best start, but pivotal player in that moment. Ultra on the retake now. Pristini and Classic. They shut down the rotations. Classic's here to close the door, and he gets it. Scrap's going to go down, and Ultra's still fighting in those better spawns.
Massive fan of how aggressive Classic gets there. It's proactive, it's ambitious, but he manages to get it done. Squeezes any sort of potential arriving pressure through mid and just swarms then out towards the back. The problem for Ultra as well, they've got to consider P2 spawn, so they're having to drop off and therefore not contest any time for P1. 705 spinning this in their favor, looking real good on one of their favored maps. Ultra set up for P2 this time. Can they answer back this 705 pressure?
Big thing has been between you and I is the submachine gun duel between Hixie and Classic. Well, Hixie 16 and 16, Classic 18 and 16, neck and neck. And it reflects in the score for the game right now. Ultra take care of wave number 1. Wave 2 setting up shortly. Player number 1, Pristini, not going to go the full wrap around. Royalty just going to barrel in through the front, blows the door open, and the rest follow in suit. Classic makes it 3 down. Last one standing is going to be Scrap. Has the teammates respawning on him, but now if you're Ultra, you need to think about the long game. You need to find your way out. And Vickle, he's going to hop in the overextension, take down Pristini, and Ultra battle back in.
Royalty picking up 2 huge kills there, gets his teammates in, but it's not for very long. Ultra very happy to just send them packing and on their way over to that P3 rotation. Pristini will not be the last player here to still contest. Royalty's just going to continue to be a nuisance to the Ultra players trying to desperately get themselves across the map. If you're this far pushed up, as you are for 705, you essentially have 2 waves of defense. Big pick in the mid though, Scrap opening up on Pristini.
It's the line of scrimmage being set up here from 705, but Ultra finding a little bit of break in the armor. And they pierce it. Royalty here, 1v3. Slides around the pillar. Can't take him down. Hixie stays alive because Mohawk comes to the rescue. Pristini's going to get off the hill. Back up with DiamondCon. Both ARs set up for 705. But Royalty and DiamondCon, they go down. Pristini's the only one here. Has to go big. Good for 1. Good for 2. Pulls Ultra off the hill. Almost finds a 3. But Vickle shuts him down. 169 to 163. That's going to be any closer. And Ultra finally getting onto this hill. We're going to see a lead change.
We are indeed. Great stuff so far out of these 2 teams, trading blow for blow. And actually, no, we are not. 705 somehow bully their way straight back in through the front. DiamondCon with a Hail Mary grenade to shut out the arriving player that was trying to get themselves to the Godheady. We're going to move then on over to Church. Last time, this all belonged to Ultra. They were happy to be the ultimate here. Can 705 change the script this time around? Does Ultra have to make it work?
The battle for the rotations for 705 have been fantastic and pivotal to the score that we're seeing in that last little bully-in that we saw. Just can't let that happen if you're Ultra NA, especially for the rotation here. 2 Church, DiamondCon on 6 in a row. 1 more. It'll be a glide bomb to boot. Be good for the breakover, especially if they go into a third set of rotations with how close this has been. It could be the difference maker. Diamondcon locks down the streak. Tie game right now inside this fourth hill. Sliding on in for a moment, but you have to be aware of player number 8 in the back. 705, they break the hill, and last one in the back is going to be player number 8, Vickle. He drops as the full break for 705 for a moment. And both teams, you have to be thinking about P5 right here now. But Ultra Academy, they're going to take a shot back at this Churchill. They want to keep this even, and that's what they're going to get. But in doing so, they give up the rotation to the command center.
I have no idea how Diamondcon stayed alive for that long, by the way. Not only is picking up the streak absolutely huge, but he just was the whole catalyst for retaking that hill and keeping this game level. His teammates are going to rotate in for 5. Ultra are going to have to fight through a lot of bottlenecks to get here. Royalty lined up next. Ultra Academy taking damage from everywhere.
Oh, Royalty. Vickle reads it. That's a huge kill. It's going to allow the rest of Ultra to surge on forward. Scrap's going to cut down Diamondcon. Inside the hill, you need these 705 SMGs to go big, but Classic gets run over. Pristini on the stairwell. Vickle slides on in, takes him down. Royalty to fall too. Ultra holding things down, holding this lead just marginally. 209 to 205. 30 seconds to fight for. Will see 705 take another shot at this, but again, Ultra, they're just standing tall on the inside. They shut them down again. It's a full 4 down, and 705, they need this rotation.
For me, I feel that was huge moment potentially for 705, because if they hold that scrap time, they've then got the glide to open up P1 that Ultra would have rotated in for. Instead, they've now got to barrel themselves across the map, likely use that streak in order to make sure they lock this down. It could all be ended here. With how contested this has been so far, we might well see a P2 just yet.
Here's the glide bomb to open things up. Diamondcon going to drop the hammer. Won't find a kill. Hello? The glide bomb's going to come up with nothing. Luckily, the guns are working. Royalty and Diamondcon are going to battle in the break for 705 for the moment, but Ultra just around the corner. Mohawk takes down 1. Royalty runs on forwards. 4 in a row for himself, but he can't extend it any farther. Classic's going to get a little too over-aggressive, and now inside the hill, you're looking at Diamondcon to hopefully kind of dig deep and lock things down, but Pristini's here to pack him up. Still back and forth trades. 233 to 233. I mean, this could be it.
Oh, it really could be, but it's 2 from Vickle, 1 from Hixie, 3 from Swans. Ultra to open things back up. That's all 4 dead. 705 have got to throw everything at this. 10 seconds away if you're the boys in purple. One
last chance, but Ultra, they have their foot in the hill. They have things unlocked, and they also have the gunfights as well. The Ultra NA, even though they're down almost from start to finish, they hold on tight. They break that 5th hill. They get the rotation, even avoid the glide bomb to make it so. And another close hardpoint between both of these teams, 250 to 236. You couldn't ask for anything more.
Oh, absolutely not. And very quickly, we're going to get to see the scoreboard there for a moment. And a man that I want to call out is Hixie. I spoke about it a little bit earlier, kind of touched on it. He's not been having a good time throughout this stage in hardpoint. Rocking a 0.83 KD. Yes, he spends a lot of time on the hill for this side, but even by his standards, that's nowhere near acceptable. It's one of the lowest across the entire stage for everyone. Puts up a performance there, does the work for his team, and a couple of crucial opening and rotational kills as well. Massive step up from him when his team needed it most. These guys love to serve up a banger and a hard point. Goodness me.
It's exactly what you expect. If you're 705, you're hoping to walk away with that win as the maps kind of lay out a series that could go to a game 5. But now that Ultra take map number 1 here in a hard point, it kind of shakes things up for what you and I thought we were going to get for this series. But you're right. I mean, to talk about Hixie is definitely a talking point from that map 1. We asked the SMGs to step up, and they did. But it's also to look at Vickle, the supporting SMG as well, because he had a magnificent game. It might not be as flashy, but 26 and 22 right alongside Hixie was making sure that he was finding so many important kills, not just for the rotations, but to break into the hills. 22 non-traded kills, 3,200 damage. I mean, this is the exact performance that you could ask for between Hixie and Vickle.
Absolutely. I think across the board as well, all players have contributed in all areas. Instead of it being a sense of, okay, you're the hill player, we will push out and pick up the kills. You can see that there's pretty much an almost identical kill death department for these players. You've then got hill time, which is relatively similar across the board. Scrap perhaps enjoying himself a bit too much, pushing himself out and picking up some kills. But hey, Scrap does what Scrap wants to do. He's a very talented young man. But it is just really good to see that kind of consistency across the whole team, all contributing. And actually, the player that picks up the most damage on Ultra is going to be Hixie, bested only by Pristini in the lobby, who put up over 4k damage, by the way. Didn't see that one coming when we got to our final board.
Oh, it's absolutely wild. On 705's side of the board, I mean, you talked about DiamondCon and how you wanted to see him as an AR really take control of this series for 705 to find success, but he doesn't. He gets bested by Scrap on that AR roll, and, you know, 24 and 26. He does have a 7 streak at one point with an SMG breaking into that Churchill, but the streak comes out with nothing. It's such a pivotal moment for them to break back in. You think that that's a bit of a dagger and a heartbreaker if you are 705. So not what you wanted for map number 1. Ultra take it 250 to 236. But now for 705, you got to dig deep, because the next little bit is going to be a troublesome one. You're not just going to lose out on your map choice for a hard point, but now you're walking into Toronto's search and destroy choice.
Yeah, absolutely. If you walk away from that, not winning the hard point that we expect you to win, not winning the Tuscan we expect you to win, you're then asking a lot of yourself when you talk search and destroy Desert Siege, because Toronto, as much as they've been struggling in hard point this year, they're very good at S&D, sitting at a 7-2 record. And when it comes to Desert Siege, well, they like this one, Seymour, rocking a 4-1 performance so far across the stage. So have been very, very good here. If you are 705, it gets even worse when this is your worst map currently throughout Search and Destroy, holding a 1-3 record. So very much so up against 705. But that being said, a moment ago, we were talking about how the hard point looked like it was all going to go one way, and we didn't stick to that script. So map 2 might bring a few surprises just yet.
Oh, it might. And, you know, for 705's kind of situation right now, you're not, I guess, the worst, but you're not the best Search and Destroy team. The only thing is that you want this to go to a map 5, because where you shine most in the search and destroy is that bulk car search that we get for a map 5. The only problem is getting there. Now that you've lost that hard point in map number 1, you have to look back on that series enigma that we had last week between both of these teams, and to talk about, you know, Desert Siege went all the way to around 11. If 705 clean up a few things here and there, you know, find some more first bloods, it could be a different story, because they are right alongside Ultra on this map, as we saw last week. And this could be where we actually see them pull things back if they can find an upset against Ultra here. Yeah,
100%. I mean, I think if you're 705, you don't even want it to get to the map 5. You wanted this to end in 4, and you're asking a lot now in order to do that. And in particular, later on, we'll get to that control, and we'll talk about why that one's going to be a very important one in this series. But for me, 705 have to come out here then, and again, just try and insert themselves into the map. Not play this passively, not play this slowly. Have a decisive round, especially when it comes to offense. I want to see them really trying to get themselves forward on this one. Bomb down. Open up with a first blood would be lovely as well, because my friend Turtle bringing out some statistics that I saw on the timeline earlier today. If teams open up with a first blood on attack and get the bomb down, you're winning 80% of the time. So I want to see that kind of aggression, that kind of decisiveness to really take it to Ultra here. You just don't want to let a team that's very comfortable in a map and mode dictate the way the map plays. 705 have to come out real strong and start it early as well.
It's an absolutely absurd statistic going into this map. For 705, I mean, you have a couple players that you could be looking at for sure. The AR players, you know, working the outside of the maps, the outside along the lanes to find those first blood picks. But you also have to think about those submachine guns as well. See if they can take control of University. Kind of rattles Ultra NA right up close and personal. But if it's that, it's going to be Prasini dropping first. Mohawk to find it, post it up top inside his spawn. And that will immediately bring 705 to a halt, Andy.
It will. Exactly not the way I wanted that one to open up. If you were a 705 fan, but Classic will actually answer back. He finds Hixie, and Vickle is going to have to back up. SMG in hand. He doesn't want this fight.
Vickle doesn't expect royalty right around the corner. Now 705 with the life lead. It's going to be a bomb down. Eyes have to be on player number 6. Hitting the rotation here. 705 haven't spotted him out yet. Finally, Scrappy's going to make some noise. Finds DiamondCon 2v2. Still in enemy territory, so it's a couple of gunfights to take, but Royalty is going to completely avoid him. Flip the map. I don't know if Scrappy's going to read this, and he will. Ooh. Royalty goes down. Suddenly, things a little bit worrisome. Classic in a position where he has to get aggressive. Check this bomb at some point. 26 seconds to work with. Player number 6, Mohawk, watching right over Scrap as well, so even if Classic finds this, Mohawk's in a great place to trade. Classic's gonna go big, but he checks the bomb. Scrap on the heady. He's gonna find it. Plenty of time to defuse. Ultra Academy find first round.
First blood coming in big for Ultra. They just play the advantage from there. But a massive kill there from Scrap. Checking to his left, getting that kill. Just then change the script in that end situation. If that goes the other way, I mean, 7 on 5 could well be walking away from this one. Tight margins already in this. And you feel like that's going to be the name of the game as we move on forward. It was a very close Tuscan hard point. I'm expecting it to be settled by the finest of margins. And Scrap looks like he's bringing out the sniper rifle on this one. We've seen him hit a couple of beauties before, and he's feeling himself.
Let's see that boomstick. It's unfortunate if you're royalty, because if he actually found a kill in that position, probably would have been a round win for 705. But now Scrap a chance to open up, and he does. Diamondcon rocks the cranium right there. Scrap's going to take him down off the heady, and a 705 once again in a disadvantageous position. All players grouping up through the middle of the map. It looks like they want to force a gunfight and try to force a life brought back. The bomb's down.
These are the exact situations I spoke about earlier. Get that first. Oh, the timing goes against Mohawk. He misses it. He misses the crossover from Royalty. But he's found by Scrap. Okay. Classic then. 1v3. Best of luck, son.
That's just a lot to work with there if you're royalty. And now Classic just stuck up creek without a paddle, as Proper would say. And that's Ultra Academy, 2 rounds in a row to open things up. I mean, very decisive as well towards that A site. Scrap opens up with the snipe as well. So many things in that round to take away that Ultra Academy, they just look flawless in.
Yeah, and when we're talking about Scrap, by the way, he is a first blood monster throughout this stage. Picks up 18 first blood so far for this side, losing only 9. So a massive return from him, and you can see why when he's hitting sniper shots like that. But also on a 5-0. Keep an eye on that for streak potential.
Looks like 705 want to take in the university right now, but Persini, another first blood on him, on their attack. Slows their approach once more. The nade from Scrap. Will it find information? Royalty gets the trade back. Scrap still with the sniper as well. On 5 in a row. Goes down to Classic. Ends the streak, but still a 2-on-2. So Ultra might be able to walk away with the round, even though they don't get that streak for Scrap. But this is a chance for 705 to bring things back. Put a round on the board. And you're looking at Royalty here. Horrible timing to Vickle, but it might be blessing as well as he avoids that gunfight.
Yeah, the timing there just... I mean, he goes against Vickle for sure. Royalty here just isn't certain. Waiting for Diamondcon to get himself into a position. You can see him rotating there along the bottom of the map, just trying to be in a spot where if Royalty does put this down, he's got a clear line of sight.
Vickle, I don't know if he's going to challenge right off the bat. Hoping to work off of Hixie in this position as he's taking the full rotation around Dunes. Now Diamondcon set up. Vickle's going to get the information. Royalty alone on the bomb site for a moment. Vickle in behind, slides on in. Diamondcon last alive. 29 seconds to work with. Vickle hasn't hopped this bomb just yet, and I don't know if the bomb is planted for Diamondcon. Might have to go big in the situation. Drops down from the head glitch, and Hixie's going to be there with open arms to welcome him. Plenty of time once more for the defuse here for Ultra Academy, and that is 3 unanswered rounds. I mean, 705, they need to start finding some way back into this game.
Absolutely, but fantastic stuff out of Vickle. Doesn't shoot, doesn't give it away, reads Diamondcon and gives all that information up. Once he collapses on Royalty, he simply just feeds that information to Hixie, who has himself an AR in hand and can watch the headies, make sure that Diamondcon isn't flooding on in. Beautiful stuff. Cohesion at its finest. It's another first blood to open up the round if you are Ultra Academy. 3 first bloods, 3-0 on the scoreboard. It's easy maths when you play the game correctly.
Andy, did you see the video that Vickle put out this morning? I mean, I knew that if anybody on Ultra was going to come out with the passion, it was going to be him today, and we are seeing that with a smart 200 IQ play inside the S&D and a fantastic hard point to open things up. Bomb's going to go down in a 4-on-4. Minimal information for 705 to work with, but a beautiful nade from Classic to open up with first blood.
It's a beautiful nade indeed, but if you're Ultra Academy, you're just set up and holding a defensive line that 705 need to puncture through somehow. Scrap, the boomstick in hand, and oh my god, everyone goes down.
Scrap, okay, what do you do with the sniper? Who cares about the sniper? He's got the pistol. The box wasn't there. Maybe he got a shot onto Diamondcon, but all 3 players staying alive for 705 as they run over Ultra Academy's post-plant position. I would have loved to see those kills coming out from 705 because it was just one after the other, Andy.
It was indeed. We don't get to catch a lot of it because it's just a lot of one gunfights. For me, perhaps over aggressive out of Toronto. Perhaps a little bit too comfortable. Throw a couple of shoulders, maybe. Just try and buy time, delay that. And I think a Scrap goes down there, realizes in that 1v4 situation. He's probably asking the same thing, boys. Why are we challenging? The bomb is down. I mean, they do lose that first blood to the opening grenade, but they're still in a very good spot there. Nothing on the flank. They would have looked good had they just bought some time.
It's that one thing that you were looking for your 705 to bring yourself back in. A little bit of momentum swing. In the last couple of offensive rounds, Pristini getting first blooded was what slowed them down. This time, Royalty finds it. Early transfer from Vickel will keep this in a 3v3. Pristini recovers the bomb. Team 705 indecisive on where they want to go. Ultra Academy rotating around, but Classic through the window. He sneaks a kill onto Mohawk. A little bit frustrating there, but numbers in the favor of 705. Classic's going to get caught. Tie 2v2. Bomb down at B, maybe?
I certainly thought so, but actually Pristini has a different idea in mind and catches Vickel with his pants down. And all of a sudden, it's a 2v1. You've got AR presence galore. DiamondCon loves it out here in the dunes. Been a massive player this year, but Scrap with the sniper. Oh, good lord.
Oh, Pristini, stay down. Stay down. 35 seconds. Sniper's going to be there, but Pristini takes the chow. Scrap has a sniper. We know how that gunfight goes time and time again, but I mean, 705 in these past couple rounds, it's what you asked for, Andy. You know, when we were opening up this search and destroy, you wanted to see some decisive plays, some aggressive plays as well, and that's what we got both on the defense and now the offense, and it has paid in dividends.
It's picking up those first bloods that has changed the script here for sure, and it is good to see the decisiveness coming out of 705. Not necessarily as aggressive as I would have asked for, but when you've got Scrap with a sniper on the other end, it is hard to try and get yourself forward and across the map.
It is, but in these past couple rounds, Scrap hasn't really got a whole lot with those snipers or those sniper kills. It was the start of this search and destroy where he dominated. Slowing down, you might be looking at him to maybe put it away for the rest of it, barring he does something miraculous in this round 6. But slow rotation from Ultra over to the B site. All players looking to lock down the dunes. Royalty's going to be here, but seems like he feels the pressure of Ultra as that bomb goes down. Royalty, he's going to get caught.
Scrap with the first blood. DiamondCon, unfortunately, is just going to see everyone slide on by, and the problem you have now is Pristini is isolated, but DiamondCon gets one.
Have to be thinking Pristini needs to get in behind here. Covers the SMG, gonna slide in for a kill into Vickel, hops the bomb right away. Will Ultra expect this one? It seems like they will. Mohawk's gonna get aggressive, checks him on the bomb. Pristini snaps up, there he goes. 18 seconds left, has to hold it now. DiamondCon's watching over his shoulder as well, and he's gonna pick Scrap, who decides he wants to get aggressive towards that bomb. And what a wonderful retake there. What was that, a 2v4?
Absolutely, 2v4 indeed. DiamondCon opens up with the first. I was about to talk about how Pristini was isolated away from his teammates. The fact that DiamondCon gets that kill shifts the attention briefly, gives Pristini the window to hop out and kill Vickel, who's waiting in and around the bomb. And from there, Pristini should never, ever get that kill that he ends up picking up straight after the bomb hop. So, at the end of the day, top tier plays from an experienced individual. Pristini on a 5.
And that's 3 rounds from Ultra Academy, met with 3 rounds from 705. They go back and forth. Who's going to get the swing round here? Get the aggressiveness out of Ultra. Vickel's leading the charge all the way through that B site. Gets eyes on Pristini a little early on the shots, and that's going to give it away. Bomb's going down at A. Scrap doesn't seem like he's seen anything. Oh, now he has!
It's just beautiful to watch when this guy is in full flow. Hits one, but DiamondCon is here. He's between the legs.
Here's Hixie. Auto in hand. Again, you know how that gunfight goes. Pristini's going to bring this one back. 6 in a row. That one would be huge. Scrap, though, he's going to stick the defuse right now, and nobody on 705 is here to check it. Classic is going to find a kill into Hixie, but it matters not because Scrap holds it out to the end. Pristini may hold on to his 6th spree, but Ultra Academy, that is a big swing round to win.
Absolutely huge. First blood comes in again, and Hixie is aggressive to counter up on that and help out, cleaning up DiamondCon on the outside. I feel for Pristini there, you're probably looking for a little bit of support, purely coming in from Classic, I believe it was, who was still alive. Pristini on the 6. He doesn't want to chow. He wants to hold for the glide bomb. Perhaps needed Classic to just stick his nose in a little bit there, try and shift some Ultra players around and maybe delay that bomb defuse.
You have to think. I mean, Diamond shot between the legs. that is frustrating.
Fine margins, Seymour. This level is fine margins.
Fine margins indeed. Pristini is still on 6 in a row, though. Able to get some kills here. Royalty right through the window comes Hixie, and Royalty says, see you later, alligator. A second on the Vickle as well. Ultra, they decide they want to get aggressive through the middle of the map, and 705 say, no way, Jose. Pristini, that's your teammate. Come on.
Yeah. Bit too over keen for the 7th. Wants the glide bomb, for sure. I don't think he understands that you can't get it from there. But you're right about the mid push here from Ultra. They haven't tried it very often, and you can see why. It doesn't work out very well for them. Pristini will get the 7th.
Glide bomb.
Will indeed get himself a glide bomb. Scrap left in a 1v4. I've seen this guy do some crazy things this year, but I think even for him, this is asking a lot. Bomb down too.
Just look at how patient 705 are as well. They know they don't have to get aggressive against Scrap. I think that was wonderful timing at a Classic or Pristini. We'll see it in a second. But, I mean, this whole round was just picture perfect from the likes of 705 Esports. Royalty finding the double kill through top university. I don't think Hixie was going to expect him to be in that position with how confident he burst through that wall, but in every single 1v1 we saw, 705, they just had the better positioning because of how patient they played in that round. Ultra, they thought aggression was the way to bring this one back and push their lead to maybe a map point, but 705 had other plans.
With that glide bomb in hand down for Pristini as well. I think Scrap actually gets a hit marker on the sniper, unlucky. So very unlucky indeed. And you see, Ultra clearly happy to play for the retake of A. They were happy to give that up there entirely. Instead, play close B defense. But the rotation here, I'm not sure if... Oh, the glide's in, and it gets an open.
Scrap. What are we going to see at the bomb? They haven't yet decided they want to go to the B site, but Royalty is lurking around. Vickle getting aggressive here. Get the better timing. Spots Royalty in the back. Classic, there's 2, but Vickle doesn't finish his food. It's going to be Hixie to give him numbers. 3v2 for Ultra Academy. Bomb down. You're looking at Pristini. Oh, Pristini, he has no idea he's here. Pistol's going to get the job done. 2v2. Still alive in this position. Can spoil a lot of fun for Ultra Academy. Around the outside of trains. It's another one to bite the dust. Pristini for the ace now, but Vickle's going to shut it down. 1v1. Diamond versus Vickle, and Diamond may have read this. He dies. The shots are going to be there. Gives away his positioning. Vickle doesn't take a lick of damage. Diamond going to chase this one. Vickle's okay to hold this. He knows he's got time. Diamond has to decide what he's going to do, but Vickle's playing this so good. Diamond has to go for the bomb plan, and Vickle, he knows this.
Oh, no. Diamond might well rue those missed shots. Pristini picks up 3 in the round through some fantastic play, and is now just watching on. Vickle here might have the wrap.
This is for match point. Diamond's not going to go. He stays alive again. Just that last shot has been so cataclysmic to the round, but Vickle's going to read him like a book full wrapped through university. And he puts this round away. So much time for the defuse. Vickle ices up in what could have been 7:05 on map point. Ultra Academy, they get there first.
If you are Pristini, you're asking so many questions. Picks up 3 in the round, and doesn't just pick up the 3, by the way. He obliterates any sort of positioning that Ultra have, splits them apart, has them second guessing all the way across the map, and then it's just windy shots. It's nerves. It's just not nice. It's all a mess. Match point for Toronto Ultra.
3 players for 705 stacked towards university. Like we saw in the round to bring him to a 4-4. Vickle has that itch. Expecting Pristini to get aggressive outside of top uni. But nothing just yet. Both teams just fishing for a mistake, but we haven't seen one yet. Vickle teasing the bomb plant, hops off it. 705, they are getting a lot of information here. Look at player number 4. Diamondcon's going to be here. Classic gets aggressive, but Scrap's going to shut him down. Now everything's riding on Diamondcon's flank.
Massive from Scrap. It's potentially there. Stops 2 bloods to open that one up for 705. No. Pristini gets caught. Diamondcon is on the flank, but it's a 2v4 scenario for 705 to take this opportunity here, Seymour.
2v4. Mohawk slides. Diamondcon spots him. The ring damage not going to be there for the finish. Mohawk challenges it. 1v2. Royalty, can he make it happen? He cannot. In Ultra Academy NA 2-0 in the series. Things get so electric so fast between these two teams, and it's always neck and neck throughout the maps. It doesn't matter what search, if it's hardpoint, we always get a show between both of these squads. But Ultra, they don't want to go to round 11 this time. They say 10's enough. 6-4 win, and you look at the scoreboard for a moment there. We got some big rounds out of a couple of players of Ultra NA. But I mean, even 705 Esports, I mean, a couple individual performances as well shining on Desert Siege.
Yeah, and you gotta speak about Scrap. The start to that S&D that Ultra had largely came off the back of that streak that he went on, just missing out on picking up a glide. Picks up some huge first bloods, and I've said it so many times throughout this match, and I'll say it again, first bloods that make S&D very, very easy. The final score, 6-4. Ultra takes 6 first bloods, 705 pick up 4. It really is simple math. But in particular, that right at the end there, because there's an opportunity there for, I'm not sure which 705 player it was, but there was an opportunity there for them to not only pick up Hixie, but then they had another player just to their left who'd shot off shots as well. Could have easily been a situation where 705 opened up with 2 kills.
It was that classic play, I'm pretty sure. Just
to
open that one up. He has Hixie dead to rights, but it was Scrap who shut him down. I mean, that was the make or break for the round. The fact that Scrap finds that kill, it could have been a whole different story with Diamondcon on the flank. But we are going to take a look at the stats, Andy, and see exactly what we got out of these players. It wasn't, I mean, anything too crazy opposed to, you know, that opening that Scrap had. He had a fire start to this game, but slowed down as it went on. Yes, he finds that first blood on the classic that basically wins him that round 10, but on the opposite end, you're looking at Pristini, who almost single-handedly gave 705 map point.
Yeah, if anything, I think looking at the statistics, you gotta feel a little bit sorry for Pristini. Drops 1200 damage. You think about that one round in particular where he picks up a 3-piece that he has absolutely no right to picking up. It opens up. We were talking about, you know, oh, he's on for the ace, and he just watches the round evaporate in front of him. Got to be very tough. He had himself one hell of a map, but looking across the board with Ultra NA, Scrap will take a lot of the plaudits. Rightly so, picks up 4 of those very important first bloods indeed, and a lot of damage, good stuff. But across the board, you felt like that there was never a moment where your Ultra players felt like they weren't all participating. Hey, Vickle perhaps starts a little bit slow, but he's the guy running the bomb. That's a difficult role indeed. Just solid across the board. And obviously the way that sets our series then, Seymour, is 2-0 to Toronto Ultra, running next into our control. It doesn't need too many reminders to tell you just how good Toronto Ultra are at control. They've been pretty much indomitable across the whole year, running a 6-1 in this stage alone, and they love Gavutu. They are a 4-0 here, so very much so currently looking like a 3-0 sweep, and it has been the finest margins so far to put them into this position.
Oh, 4-0, but last time these two teams played, they played on Gavutu control, and it was very unfortunate because 705, they were looking like they could take this map off of Toronto Ultra NA, and a very unfortunate disconnect forces the reset. It almost seemed like it iced 705 to an extent. So I want to see the start to Gavutu control like I saw back then for 705 to see if they can maybe force this map off of Toronto, start the reverse sweep, and start to get something going. It was a 3-1 loss last time they met on Gavutu control, but 705 now, they need to turn things around, folks. We're going to hop to a break while we get things set up for this map number 3, and when we come back, I mean, 705, they got a reverse sweep. It's nothing more than a tough task for them to try to take down Toronto Ultra NA. Welcome back. I mean, a short break to get into this control, but here we are. 7:05. Need the reverse sweep. Ultra Academy NA, they can put this down here and now to move on throughout this winner's bracket of the playoffs. And when you're looking at 7:05, starting off with the offense, over to A zone first, but Vickel's going to shut them down with 2 or 3 in a row. Make it 4 in a row. Doing it all.
Not the start that you wanted if you are 7:05 trying to catalyze this reverse sweep that they need in order to see themselves not lose the series. And for me, I wasn't going to talk too much about Vickel. I was going to speak about how they need to shut down Scrap. He loves control. Goodness me, Vickel, 1 away from a glide, has really started this one hot. Let's dig a little bit more, by the way, into Scrap. Rocking a 1.26 across the whole stage, the highest by far of anyone in this stage 4 elite. And the problem for 7:05 is they aren't big fans of this. Only 1 player positive, Diamond Con, everyone else struggling in this mode.
Doesn't really have to put up those superstar statistics when Vickel's coming alive like he is now, riding the high of not only that search and destroy win, but the hardpoint win as well, where he looked untouchable into the round. I mean, is he going to expect this player up close? He will. Glide bomb locked in for Vickel. It is going to be a moment where in 7:05 they think they can go over to the B zone, but Ultra, they have this round on lock. 10 seconds left. It's only a matter of time before Ultra go up 1-0 in the series. And Vickel, he's not done yet. I mean, 9 in a row. Who's going to stop this guy?
This has been a demoralizing, bullying of a first round from Ultra Academy, and none less than Vickel coming out 9-0. You're right. Who's going to shut that man down? Guy absolutely pops off. We've spoken about the passion he came into today with that video he stuck up on Twitter. Apparently, he was saving it for this map in particular. A ridiculous start. If you're 7:05, you've got everything to do. Yeah, that was no ticks. You're almost guaranteed to have offense if we make a round 5. If we make a round 5.
Oh, Vickel valuing his life here. Wants to go in 10 in a row. Play a little ring around the Rosie, and he's going to find Royalty on the opposite end. Manages to take 1 down, but Precision finally going to put an end to that streak that Vickel accumulated throughout that first round. But onto the A zone, Ultra Academy go. They stop the clock at 1:06. Mohawk's going to be here on a 3 spree for himself. He expects Royalty up close and personal. Well, Royalty doesn't know if he wants to push this just yet. Diamondcon's going to open up with a kill into Vickel. Should be the go-ahead for Royalty to break on in, and he gets it done, taking down Mohawk, only giving up 1 tick of progression.
Yeah, I feel for Royalty as well. You really do want to get a couple of these kills and build your momentum up somewhere, because he was 1-8 to start this one off. Was not having a great time of it at all. Vickel, the star man so far this map, slipping, sliding, finds Royalty just as Vickel opens up. Sorry, just as Mohawk opens up on Pristini as well. So 2 down. That first tick is in. You will see 2 players dive the point. Second tick on its way. This is looking solid so far out of Ultra. Very much so the way you'd expect a Gavutu control to go. But P1 control lies still in 7:05 hands. So opportunity to slow this down here.
Just seems like as the series goes on, it's just Ultra just hitting another head of the nail into the coffin. As they go along, they look untouchable so far throughout the series. With that close, 7:05 have had it. In their hands, slipping through the fingertips again and again. Maybe heartbreak, disappointment. Need to shake it off because it's now or never for 7:05 to bring this one back. Lives are even 16 apiece. The B zone is very hard to take with this early setup that you're going to get on defense. And at 7:05, they're not out of it just yet. They just need to take this in waves. As Hixie gets it close, you can see 7:05 surrounding this point. They get the information on the stuns as well, but Persini's going to go down towards the boat. And Hixie seems like he wants to hop on.
Problem there as well, if you're 7:05, you're setting up that boat side setup, that cordon, in order to stop a flank coming in. Now you're worried, and the final player that's at B goes down. It's Pristini with a Hail Mary grenade. Vickel will get all the information on the glide, doesn't get a kill, but it's going to allow his teammates onto B. And goodness me, they're up by 3 lives as well.
Royalty had that glide bomb to keep it through, but Royalty's going to make the overextension play through ring. Finds Scrap looking the wrong way, and it allows the rest to barrel on in, follow up with their teammate, and clear off that B zone. 39 seconds left. A lot of time has been cut down here from 7:05 Esports, and with only 33 seconds, and look how far Ultra Academy have to travel just to get back here. You're looking at 15 seconds before they can work on this B zone. You might not look to invest this streak.
Well, I feel if you're Ultra, you probably don't mind the fact that you threw that away a little bit because of the fact that 705 had such a bad offensive round, not picking up a single tick anywhere. Ultra already have 3. They feel like, okay, we could gamble that away, and they're feeling good about themselves. You do have 5 seconds in the last second dive here out of Ultra, 2.9 on the clock. Never mind.
God, okay.
Just
Never
put an
mind.
end to that.
You're right. Who cares what we're talking about? Analysis, analysis.
I feel like, again, Ultra, they bring in that glide. They try and open up the defense there. The timing is a little bit unfortunate, if anything, because 2 players had put themselves inside green, essentially. The streak is nothing more than informational gain. But again, Ultra, at this point, will feel so far ahead. They will feel in complete control of this tie, fully aware of the fact that winning offensive rounds is difficult, and that is likely to still be the case for 705. They've got to change the script here.
1-1, we're tied here. Inside the control. Exactly what we saw the last time these two teams matched up, but after this, it was Ultra and nothing else. Early trades back and forth will get 705 onto the point for a moment. But cutting down will keep the clock burning. You have bolt control if you are Diamond Con, but Hixie in a position to punish, but he's not going to be needed to. Scrap's going to find the kill. Hixie slides on through. 2 down for 705. And suddenly, Boat a little bit rocky here for 705 to make their attack. Proceeding's going to get on. Finds a kill and a Scrap slides out with his life. 25 to 25. Mohawk didn't even see this one. All the way in behind. Now, raining terror on the spawns of 705.
Oh, it's a good catch by Diamond Con, because you're right, that could have started to be very problematic. And actually, there's a kill there through mid, and that's going to allow Classic to dive towards B. So this is going to shift the Ultra players across the map. You're not necessarily going to get any presence onto B, but that's fine, really, because that tick comes in for 705. You might well be sat there thinking, oh, well, that's kind of standard, right? You get an A tick. Well, they didn't last time round on the offense. So Royalty continuing to be a nuisance here for the Ultra Academy. Second tick surely coming in on, and Ultra suddenly looking at a B defense very early in this one.
It's moments like that that I'm looking for to see from 705 submachine gun duo. Because we know we're going to get on a Gavatu from that ARs, but the subs sometimes can make or break this map. Royalty looking to get more comfortable as it goes on. Now a chance to punish. If you're 705 on the offense here, a minute 30 to work with. Nichols can make his place known. Classic's going to put him down. 2 kills for 705, but a beautiful nade from Hixie. That'll slow things down for sure.
Yeah, but a massive gunfight for Pristini will give them P1 control. Royalties somehow wins a gunfight that he has no right to win, and that's going to allow 705 an opportunity.
No!
Oh, no.
That is unlucky, bro.
That is...
Going into the rest of this, we'll forget about that one. Ultra Academy looking from the outside in for this B zone. A moment to break for 705. Punished by a team nade. Now Royalty trying to get things going again, but a Scrap this time to line up too.
We're going to speak about that one in the green room. Scrap does indeed pick up a huge 2-piece. It's extremely unfortunate that the team nade comes through there. It looked to be all so good for 705. Getting P1 control, Royalty winning gunfights they had no right to win, and then them having that pressure and pushing Ultra back. But it lines up, unfortunately, for 705 that the grenade is caught by a teammate. Last hit, if you are 705, it looks like it's coming through P1.
CD needs to find Scrap here. Somebody has to find Scrap. He's just tucked away, looking like Harry Potter. Inside or underneath the staircase. He's going to find one of the Classic. Mark shuts down Diamond Con with 11 seconds left. I mean, you can't do anything here if you're 705 Esports. It's 4 down once more. And a 2-1 lead for Ultra Academy. This is where 705 are really backed into the corner. Backed against the ropes. They need to start here for their reverse sweep. They can't drop anything else. No room for mistakes, I guess you could say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as soon as Toronto managed to get 1 tick in this round, they are guaranteed defense in round 5. They basically kind of will be anyway because of this differential there in the slaying. It's the SMGs on 705 just having a really difficult time. You've seen them actually pull out ARs at different moments, and it isn't really giving them that much of a benefit anyway. Royalties picked it up a bit, started 1 and 8, but it's still not too great if you are 705 Ultra. Going to open things up. Hixie onto the point.
It's a beautiful opening here for Ultra. Almost perfect, but Hixie's going to fall. Give 705 a little bit of breathing room to approach this boat once more. Up top on the deck, it's going to be Royalty sliding across, takes down Vickle. And he's going to find Mohawk as well. No right to win these gunfights. Royalty keeping 705 in this round. And keeping Ultra NA off that point.
Backing them off. Dragging this out as long as they can. And it's what you need to do. You have to stop this tick coming through. And that's 2 dead. You need the players to rotate in that were sat around B. Vickle is hitting headies like that. Diamond Con will be the fall here. And that tick will indeed come in. You can see players desperately trying to throw themselves at it. That is defense guaranteed if we make round 5. Now Toronto can throw the kitchen sink and everything included at the rest of this round.
I'm sure they don't want to just yet. I mean, they fought tooth and nail. A lot of resources poured in to that hill just to get 1 tick. 30 seconds left. Hixie's going to find Classic on the aggression. Time's ticking away, and it's burning fast. You look at Pristini cutting down the players who are rotating on in. He's going to fall, and so do 3 players for 705. So that's an opening now for Ultra to hop into this A zone. All they need to do is take down Classic, and there it is. Vickle's going to slide in. 11.4 seconds, and Vickle with the Chell out front, taking down Pristini. All right, this should be another minute on the board.
I love that play out of Mohawk as well. Just checks himself back into mid. Just changes the angle slightly to catch the 705 players as they're arriving. But the grenades from 705 have been on point all day, and they will clean it up. It's a shame, if anything, for 705 that their offensive pushes have been so poor so far, because this defense has been strong. 10 to 12 scraps. Going to shift the board around a little bit.
Surely not, right? 2 seconds left. It should be 705's round, right? Well, Ultra. Right. Maybe not out of it just yet. Vickle's going to line up too. Scrap does fall, but Hixie, 1.1 second left. Can't jump off at all. Classic to the middle of the map. Sun's going to check him. Finds Hixie. Still time burning away. 0.9 seconds. Mohawk on the inside. It's do or die right now for Ultra. And right now they are doing. Nobody's dying. 8 lives to 4. 705 still can lose this round. 56 seconds now put up on the clock. And if you're 705, you just cannot afford a single life down. Pristini finessing in the inside. He's going to find Scrap, but only 3. Make it 2 lives left.
If you want to rub salt into the wound, the way this series has gone, and continue to talk about fine margins right there at the end, 1 second left on the clock. 705 have to invest everything. The extra minute comes on through, and you are down to Classic and Royalty, who have not had a great time so far on this map. Ooh. Just Classic alive. We've seen him do some incredible things over the years, but that is going to not happen today. Ultra Academy with a 3-0 sweep over 705. And on paper, that's going to look like a comfortable one, but it was anything but. This series has been an absolute banger.
This series, it's a 3-0, but it has been nothing but fun to cast from start to finish. And it's heartbreaking if you're 705 the way it went, but you have to tip Scrap and Mohawk in those last little bit of that control. The fact that Scrap overextends, gets onto the B zone with 2 seconds left. And he drops, but with 1.1 second, Mohawk finds a huge 2-piece on the inside of boat to add another minute to that clock. Keep things going for Ultra NA. Enough resources were burnt from both ends that it was a 4v8 after that A zone got captured. And 705 are going to have to look back at that like, how did we lose that? Well, I mean, it was miracles for Ultra NA.
Yeah, I mean, you look back to tiny things. The missed glide bomb in map 1 to when we came to that final hill. The opener that Scrap ended up picking up in that deciding round for Ultra as well. Picking up the sniper kill when his teammate was dead to rights instead. And then there at the end as well. I mean, to be honest, that map is more settled by Vickle in the first round. The fact that he just completely shut down that boat, didn't give a single tick of progress away, picks himself up a glide as well. I had a fantastic performance. If anything, sometimes on Gav, it's which SMGs don't struggle the most, because it's such a tough map. If you're on an MP40 there, you see a lot of teams shift themselves instead to 3 ARs. And unfortunately for 705, they had 2 players that just really couldn't get going in that one at all. But yeah, fine margins indeed. I believe we're going to get to take a look at the stats for that one. And yeah, if you take a quick look there, I mean, Diamond Gone, he's one of the players we've been talking about as a standout for this side. He is a main AR, and he doesn't have himself much of a map either.
Oh, but you know who had a fantastic series is Pristini. I mean, he puts up 4K damage in map 1. He puts up, what, 1,200 damage in map 2, and then 3,400 in map 3. I mean, he was lights out throughout the series, just a little bit missing, like you said, from the rest of the cast. And I mean, 705, I mean, the story of this best of 3 was heartbreak central. You talked about the missed glide ball, and when you think about Pristini almost finding that ace in the 1v1 against, I think it was Diamond Con versus Vickle. That could have given map point to 705. And now Ultra Academy, they come out with fire in their eyes for map 3. You're looking at Scrap and Mohawk, who Mohawk might not have the flashiest numbers, 23 and 18, but in those last couple of rounds for Ultra NA, I mean, Mohawk was finding such important kills on the rotation or even inside of those hills as an AR player to lock things down.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, you spoke about that double there towards the back end of that final round. That's a huge piece. But also the relieving pressure on the hill. His teammates were diving the hill at a point, trying to stop the clock, trying to do everything they could to take it to essentially a TDM match because they had such a massive life advantage. And Mohawk's just aware of the situation and recognize that 705 are going to be trying to dive the hill just to clear it, and lines them up, cleans them up, cuts them off at the knees. No reinforcements arrive, and it only spirals the situation for 705. So you're right. Mohawk had himself a game towards the end there. We're going to bring up then the maps. Look back over this one, and it all starts at that Tuscan hard point. You felt like that was where 705 needed to come out and make a statement. It was their preferred mode over these two teams. It was their preferred map in general. And unfortunately, the fact that that one goes just felt like a massive dagger to 705 throughout this series.
No, and it was like the make or break for the 705 roster that you and I said that could have been the making of a game 5 between these two teams. But quite like the Tuscan hardpoint we got last week between these two teams, which was 250 to 232, Ultra NA, they barely sneak it through, and you substitute the Gavitu and the Tuscan, and Ultra, they just clean up the series faster than last week with a 3-0 sweep over 705 Esports. That's going to be them pushing now forward to round 2 of the winners bracket inside of the Elite North America Call of Duty Challengers Cup. And on the opposite end, I mean, they're going to be waiting for whatever it takes versus Destroy the Odds. I'm not sure if that game has finished just yet, but winner of that will play Ultra Academy now, and the loser will go to play 705 for, I mean, what is unfortunate to say, the first ever elimination match here in Season 4.
Yeah, you're right. I've just been trying to keep a quick eye on it. We've actually just on the mainstream between those two sides, it will be going to a game 5. The Tuscan hardpoint at 250 to 247. Quite ridiculous end to that one. So if for whatever reason you've not also been watching the mainstream, you certainly should be. There's some insane action going on over there. But yeah, you're right. So 705 will be waiting for the loser of that. Ultra waiting for the winner. Ultra looking good because you feel like there's still more to come from that side as well. So Scrap, he had a really good series, don't get me wrong, but there was not the absolute pop-off, for example, that you know that he can bring into it. So there's still another level, there's still another gear that this side can bring. So whoever they play against next, I think I'm backing Ultra to go all the way in this one. They look good.
Those are some strong words with how we've seen whatever it takes throughout this elite stage as well. But, you know, I'm right there with you because Vickle is looking like he's playing some of the best Call of Duty I've seen him play in a little bit. Well, folks, that's going to be it for Clutch GG's coverage for North American Challenger Elite Season 4. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Enigma, but you can catch Austin and Alan, Visions and I Hold Shift, over in the mainstream Call of Duty Challengers. If you want to catch the rest of today's action for North America, it's going to be all for now. We hope to see you guys later on with, I think hopefully LCQ. So we'll see you next time on Clutch GG.